Hello everyone, Diane here. You can subscribe to my channel. I will be giving more energy updates now by video. Many people have requested this, that I not only do articles, but I do videos. So I'm going to be working on this now also. We have been going through massive energy upgrades. This started a few days before the equinox and is continuing now. Today is the 25th, September 25th. The equinox was on the 23rd. So we're still going through upgrades. I did an article in July talking about the dimensional shift that we had. Then I've done another article a few weeks before this talking about the huge cosmic frequency upgrade that we had. So this has been continuing, and I had predicted that 2019 would be nothing but upgrades, and that's exactly what is taking place. So what has to happen is everyone has to be involved in the ascension process. So everyone on the planet. So those of us that have been involved in Ascension for a long time, like me, since 2000, I've been involved in Ascension. This has been many years of dealing with these upgrades. Now other people are just now starting to feel upgrades, and some people have been feeling upgrades since 2012, okay? But many of us have been in the Ascension process for years, and many people might not have even known they were in the Ascension process because they might not have even known what was actually happening to them. So this is also why I do the videos, why I do the articles, is to let everyone know that you're in a huge group of people, thousands, probably millions of people now that are in the Ascension process. Some know it and some do not, that are being upgraded and to raise their consciousness to be able to move in fully into the higher dimensions of light. And that is what the Ascension process is all about. Because first, we must go through these upgrades in order to raise our consciousness. And then once our consciousness is raised, we can hold more light. And that is the goal, to be able to hold more light. So a lot of purging takes place. And there's been a lot of purging recently since the equinox. There's been a huge amount of purging, and all the dark has to be purged from us and the collective. So we're also purging the dark that exists in the collective. Now, we do live in a duality, and that means there is always opposites. Okay, so as much as many of us are drawn to the light, there is darkness that exists in this reality. And the darkness gets desperate when more people hold more light, like what is happening now. More and more people are coming into the ascension process, and then the darkness tries to fight back and take a hold of us. So this is why we have to go through these massive purgings, is to stop the stranglehold of the darkness from acquiring more members. We want more members of the darkness to turn to the light. We don't want more members of light, any members of light turning to the darkness. So some of these things you might have been feeling are massive purging, overly tired. You may feel massive connections being made, and you may feel secrets being revealed to you that were not revealed before. Now, since I've been in the ascension process for a long time, I'm at a certain level of awareness. A lot of things happen to me that possibly aren't happening to everyone else. But everyone has to get there eventually, and everyone has to go through everything. So there's no symptom that's going to be left unturned. Everybody's going to have to go through all the symptoms. For instance, a client of mine was telling me that she had a certain symptom that she was feeling, and this symptom which I'll talk about later because I'll go through all the symptoms that I have gone through, which many people have not. So I will talk about all those. This symptom that she went through, I went through about 6 years ago. And I went through it for about maybe a 6 month or year's time. And then it went away because it completed itself. So this is what happens. The symptoms complete themselves and then leave many of the symptoms. But much of this purging is going to continue because the dark is still trying to hang on. And the dark is going to use whatever they can to hang on to as many people as they can. Because if more people turn to the light and the darkness is losing their stranglehold, then they have nothing to feed on because the dark feeds off of negative energy. So it may be hard for some people to understand, but that is actually their food source. They feed off of negative energy. So this is why I talk about always keeping your vibration high no matter what's happening, because this can spiral. If the person starts to get depressed, it can spiral down and they can go lower and lower and lower. And pretty soon they can't bring themselves back up out of it, because the lower you go, the lower you will go. So you don't want to let yourself drop into any kind of depression, bad feelings, or lower vibration, because there is no end to that. You'll just keep going lower, lower. You might think you'll get to a certain point and then you'll feel better. It doesn't work that way. You just keep going lower and lower. So it's best not to even go there. It's best just to work on yourself from a high vibrational level. So you can do the work on your own dark side and your own unhealed aspects, but you don't need to drop yourself down. You know, if you drop yourself down, it should only be for short periods of time, so you can work to release these dark aspects of yourself and then come back up to a high vibration. So the dark side is real. There's actually entities that feed off of negative energy. So you don't want to let yourself go down there. You don't actually, it's best to not think too much about this aspect, because someone like me, I'm fully protected, so I don't have to worry, but most people are not protected. You know, it depends on what you've done in order to protect yourself and what kind of connections you have with higher realm beings. So I was protected early on, and I was told that I was protected because as a psychic, I have seen all kinds of things that most people don't see, and I have seen dark entities also. So I not only see light entities, I also see dark. So when your third eye is open and you've completely opened your third eye, you will see both sides, okay? And then someone like me can decide and can set boundaries. Do you want to see the dark? Do you want to see the light? What do you want to see? And I can control that, okay? And that's part of being a psychic with power, is that you can control what happens to you. There are some people out there that are psychics or may think they're psychics, and they don't really have any power. So that's basically like playing with fire for them, because they could be controlled by things entering their body or something, and this is not good. You want to keep, your body is a temple, so you want to keep it at a high level, and you don't want anything else entering it or trying to enter it or manipulating you in any way. So I know that kind of got off track. Psychically, I tend to talk about psychic stuff a lot because that is my entire life. So I did get sidetracked, but that's all right. Okay, so as the light grows stronger in all of us, then the dark wants to fight back more. And as the dark fights back to maintain their power, we have to do more purging of the dark to get them to release their power and to have it somewhat like an overlay of light over the dark, so they can't continue to infect people or infect anyone. So you could put it that way. So the day of the equinox, there was some tired feelings coming. And then there was some bliss for me that evening. I had a huge amount of bliss. And the bliss comes after the purging. So you might take a note of this and notice that after you purge a lot and after you're tired and after you feel bad, you might then notice that you reach to a very high level and you're going through a lot of blissful feelings where secrets are revealed to you and connections are made and puzzle pieces are put together and insights are flowing through. And this is what always takes place with me. So I don't mind the purging so much because I know the bliss is going to come and then I'm going to really enjoy the bliss. And when you're in bliss, you really feel like you're in the 12th dimension. You feel so great, you feel so fantastic. It's really hard to completely put into words, but it's a really great feeling, and it can last for hours. It can last for hours. I have one of my cats here that I'm petting right now. He's under my stand that I have my computer on. But anyway, this is not a cat video. So, one time I made a video and I was petting my cat, and one girl said, "Oh, she made a cat video." Well, no, it's not a cat video. So that's it for now, and I'll be making more videos. And be sure to ground. Be sure to drink a lot of water. Be sure to go to your sacred place when the energies are high, like they have been. Energies have been high throughout all of 2019, and I talked about in July about there being a dimensional shift, and then I talked a few weeks ago about another cosmic frequency shift. Now you also may notice things are changing. So notice these changes as they happen. Be aware as your consciousness raises. You will become more aware of everything. So be aware that things are changing. So I went into my closet the other day to get a shirt, and the shirt looked completely different than when I bought it. So this can happen. This is part of the Mandela effect that goes on. People can now start to look different. I've noticed some people that looked a certain way before now look a different way. So notice even yourself. You might look different to yourself. So there's all kinds of changes that can take place, and no one needs to freak out about it, and just stay calm because the Mandela effect does take place as the timelines overlay one another, as the timelines keep overlaying so that we can reach a higher state of consciousness. And I will go into this more later on timelines merging with each other on another video. So blessings and love to everyone, and I love you all. And my website is dianecanfield.com, and subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you later.